Hi, today I'm going to give you a presentation about conducting a simple regression and reviewing the literature. My name is Victor Veroena. This is a presentation for GRC 605, Professor Miguel Basta. Today's agenda includes what is a regression test step by step. Can we predict an individual debt by knowing their income? Can we predict an individual saving by knowing their income? Can we predict an individual portfolio value by knowing their savings? My favorite articles and questions and comments. What is a regression test? Simple regression is used to examine the relationship between one dependent and one independent variable. After performing an analysis, the regression studies can be used to predict the dependent variable when the independent variable is known. Regression goes beyond correlation by adding prediction capabilities. Using the regression equation, the dependent variable may be predicted from the independent variable. The slope of the regression line B is defined by the rise divided by the run. Then y-intercept A is the point that the y-axis with the regression line will intercept the y-axis. The slope and y-intercept are incorporated into the regression equation. The intercept is usually called the constant, and the slope is referred as the coefficient. Since the regression model is usually not a perfect predictor, there is also an error term in the equation. Regression test step by step. The first step is to establish our hypothesis test. Or null hypothesis, there are not significant regressors. Or alternative hypothesis, there is at least one significant regressor. The rejection rule must be we reject the null when P is greater than A when A is equal 0.05. The confirmation rule 0 is in 95% confidence interval. The first question gonna be, can we predict an individual's debt by knowing their income? The second question will be, can we predict an individual's savings by knowing their income? And the third question will be, can we predict an individual's portfolio value by knowing their savings? The first question is, can we predict an individual's debt by knowing their income? The dependent variable gonna be the debt. The independent variable will be income. When we run these two variables in the PSPP software, we obtain that a simple linear regression was conducted to determine whether observed debt could be predicted from income. No significant regression was found. P is equal 535. The second test will be, can we predict an individual's savings by knowing their income? The dependent variable will be the savings. The independent variable will be the income. When we run the test in the PSPP software, we found that a simple linear regression was conducted to determine whether observed savings could be predicted from income. A significant regression was found. P is equal is 0, 0, 0. The last question is, can we predict an individual's portfolio value by knowing their savings? The dependent variable will be the stocks, and the independent variable will be the savings. When we run the analysis using the PSPP software, we found a simple linear regression was conducted to determine whether observed portfolio could be predicted for savings. A significant regression was found. P is equal 0.18. Now I'm going to talk about my favorite articles for GRC 605. The first one is from Trochim, correlation. Because in simple words, Trochim explained the correlation test as the single number that describes the degree of relationship between two variables. Authors use examples and graphics to explain the test. My second favorite article is McLaughlin, the chi-square test of independence. Authors explain the chi-square concept as one of the most useful statistics for testing hypotheses when the variables are nominal, as often happens in clinical research. Unlike more statistics, the chi-square x2 can provide information not only on the significance of any observed differences, but also provides detailed information on exactly which categories account for any difference. My third favorite article is from StatTech, Hypothesis Test for Regression Slope. This StatTech lesson helps us to understand the regression linear test and how to conduct a hypothesis test to determine whether there is a significant linear relationship between an independent variable x and a dependent variable y. If we find that the slope of regression line is significantly different from zero, we will conclude that there is a significant relationship between the independent and dependent variables. That's all, guys. Thank you for watching. Any questions?